For support or information, you can reach out to us on hopespringtoafrica@gmail.com, or you can call 090-2016-7010. You can reach out to us on our Instagram handle, hopespringtoafrica, our Facebook handle, hopespringtoafrica. Today, our streets and communities are littered with the young and old. Today, our streets and communities are littered with the young and old who suffer the indignity of begging for crust of bread to stay alive. It is no more news that there is an epidemic phenomenon of street children who are brought up on the free-range system, child prostitution, rejected children, and mass destitution of the young are the order of the day. Often, they have no idea of what they are gifted to do on this earth. The politicians have found them to be available for thuggery, vandalization, political uproar, and other antisocial activities due to their ignorance and hopelessness, poverty, and inability to access quality education. It is incumbent on society to form people through the provision of integral programs and policies that will facilitate moral and social development. Hope Spring to Africa is tackling these problems by providing the right information and motivational programs to imbibe the right attitude and fill every vacuum through our various strategies. Hope Spring to Africa is a non-governmental organization founded on February 2nd, 2013, registered under the Corporate Affairs Commission to provide solutions to the first four Sustainable Development Goals, which are eradication of poverty, zero hunger, provision of good health and well-being, provision of quality education. Hope Spring to Africa, through our innovations, has visited more than 50 schools, gave scholarships to indigent students, and empowered more than 2,000 students in different communities in Nigeria. Our innovation strategies are scholarship, reach out, momentum, not too young to dream, life-transforming projects such as building of schools, libraries, toilets, etc. for underdeveloped communities and schools. Our vision is restoring hope to all. Mission to provide solutions to the first four Sustainable Development Goals. For support or information, you can reach out to us on hopespringtoafrica@gmail.com, or you can call 090-2016-7010. You can reach out to us on our Instagram handle, Hope Spring to Africa, our Facebook handle, Hope Spring to Africa. Today, our streets and communities are littered with the young and old who suffer the indignity of begging for crust of bread to stay alive. It is no more news that there is an epidemic phenomenon of street children who are brought up on the free-range system, child prostitution, rejected children, and mass destitution of the young are the order of the day. Often, they have no idea of what they are gifted to do on this earth. The politicians have found them to be available for thuggery, vandalization, political uproar, and other antisocial activities due to their ignorance and hopelessness, poverty, and inability to access quality education. It is incumbent on Today, our streets and communities are littered with the young and old who suffer the indignity of begging for crust of bread to stay alive. It is no more news that there is an epidemic phenomenon of street children who are brought up on the free range system, child prostitution, rejected children, and mass destitution of the young are the order of the day. Often, they have no idea of what they are gifted to do on this earth. The politicians have found them to be available for thuggery, vandalization, political uproar, and other antisocial activities due to their ignorance and hopelessness, poverty, and inability to access quality education. It is incumbent on society to form people through the provision of integral programs and policies that will facilitate moral and social development. Hope Spring to Africa is tackling these problems by providing the right information and motivational programs to imbibe the right attitude and fill every vacuum through our various strategies. Hope Spring to Africa is a non-governmental organization founded on February 2nd, 2013, registered under the Corporate Affairs Commission to provide solutions to the first four Sustainable Development Goals, which are eradication of poverty, zero hunger, provision of good health and well-being, provision of quality education. Hope Spring to Africa, through our innovations, has visited more than 50 schools, gave scholarships to indigent students, and empowered more than 2,000 students in different communities in Nigeria. Our innovation strategies are scholarship, reach out, momentum, not too young to dream, life transforming projects such as building of schools, libraries, toilets, etc. for underdeveloped communities and schools. Our vision is restoring hope to all. Mission to provide solutions to the first four Sustainable Development Goals. For support or information, you can reach out to us on hopespringtoafrica@gmail.com, or you can call 090-2016-7010. You can reach out to us on our Instagram handle, Hope Spring to Africa, our Facebook handle, Hope Spring to Africa.
Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, so
Hello, good evening.
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello, are you there? Hello, just
I
come,
can
please. Hello, are you there? Can you hear me?
to us on our Instagram handle, Hope Spring to
Yeah,
Africa.
I can
Our
hear you.
Facebook handle,
Hi, good evening, everyone. We're sorry for the technical issue. We are very, very sorry. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, depending on where you're hearing us from. My name is Olufunke Show, and this program is still powered by Upstream to Africa. We are sorry for all the delay. We are sorry for all the issue. Uh, how's been everything? And happy weekend, happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday, right? Okay. Okay, so you are welcome once again to this amazing program. We're welcome. You are all welcome once again. Wow, thank you for following this far. We really appreciate you. We want to say thank you for following us this far. We want to say thank you. We are Upstream to Africa, a non-governmental organization that was established in the year 2013 with the aim of providing solution to the first sustainable development goals. So we are an NGO and we are officially registered. So just in case you are watching this program for the first time, this is one of Upstream to Africa uh, innovations. This is one of our innovations. We have 5 innovations. We have scholarship, we have momentum, which this is momentum. We have Not Too Young to Dream. Not Too Young to Dream is a program. We go to different schools to encourage the students not to give up on themselves, not to give up on their dreams. So you are welcome once again, and we are very glad, to have you once again. We are very glad, despite the challenges that we are facing at the back end there. We are still very glad to have you, and trust us, you've been learning since Thursday. You've been learning. We believe you've been learning. So today also, you are still going to learn. So we are sorry for the delays, and we really appreciate you for following. We appreciate you and we love you. This is Upstream to Africa. We are committed, dedicated young people, and we love you. Thank you so much. So let's go straight to today. What we have today, we have an amazing speaker with us. Is going to introduce fully. Are you there? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so he's going to introduce himself fully to us. But before then, please, can we just have um a video of it. Can we have that, please?
Today, our streets and communities are littered with the young and old who suffer the indignity of begging for crust of bread to stay alive. It is no more news that there is an epidemic phenomenon of
Can we have the NGOs? Okay. Okay, before then, uh, today is Friday, right? We want to have your feedback on your day went. How was everything? How was your day? Hope it wasn't stressful. For me, you can even see from my face, like it's a bit very, very stressful for me. But we have to still do this. So we get our okay, I think it's coming back. Before we get him back on the platform, just quickly put on the comment section, how are you? How are you doing? Trust you're fine. Trust the weekend is starting to. For me, Friday for me, it's like every other day for me because I work from Monday to Saturday. So it's always the same thing for me. So just put at the comment section what for the weekend. Would there be any one there? Would there be any party, that you want to go? Let's just see. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
I can hear you.
You are going to be going for the weekend, the party.
Can you hear me from there? Can you hear me?
today. Our streets and communities are littered with the young and old who suffer the indignity of begging for crust of bread to stay alive. It is no more news that there is an epidemic phenomenon of street children who are brought up on the free range system, child prostitution, rejected children, and mass destitution of the young are the order of the day. Often, they have no idea of what they are gifted to do on this earth. The politicians have found them to be available for
I can't really get your.
Today, our streets and communities are littered with the young and old who suffer the indignity of begging for crust of bread to stay alive. It is no more news that there is an epidemic phenomenon of street children who are brought up on the
Wow, I think my mic was muted. Okay. So thank you for coming. Thank you for staying till today. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Okay, I can see a comment here. Someone said, um, from my hand here, I am great and happy. Okay, it's Friday. She said she's great and she's happy that it's Friday. Okay, thank you so much for the feedback. Okay, quickly, let's just go to our speaker today. We will not give up. We won't give up. Despite the challenges we are having at the back end, we will never give up. And that is one thing about, um, having dedication, being committed to what you do, having passion, and just having this mindset that everything is going to work well. That is one thing about it. Sometimes you get discouraged. Sometimes there's a lot of things that comes as discouragement, but as long as you have it in your mind that, okay, I'm going to see to the end of this. Sincerely, you will see to the end. So, okay, let's bring back our speaker quickly.
Can you hear me
Let's
now?
bring back our speaker. Okay, so you are welcome. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Also,
Thank
quickly,
you.
please, can we just have you introduce yourself, what you do, everything about you that you want the participants, the audience to know about you, please? Can we have that? Can you
Okay, before
introduce
I
yourself,
start, I,
please?
I hope you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So my name is Chinedu Megwa. Uh I'm an indigenous of Imo State. I studied mass communications, University of Nigeria and Suka. And I started a brand back then in 2016, called PopTV Events Africa. So basically, back then we started as Pop TV official. So it was more like a red carpet hosting platform, where we just go interview people during their events, departmental nights, all those things. So I think I got my big break like a day after our lunch in school. So somebody was like, they are doing a show in Enugu town, or how far would you like to go? And as at then, I didn't have a camera. I didn't have a camera. I didn't have a mic. I didn't even know what I was going to do there at the event per se. Did you get? But then I just challenged myself that okay, fine, let me just go, even if it's just for attendance sake. Let's be that okay. I attended this big event back there. You get? And then at that point, I took the opportunity. I went to Enugu, and then the event then was this Udala festival where they just invite musicians and all that stuff. And that was where I eventually fell in love with full blown media coverage and event planning and all that stuff. Because I was there, I was not there to do anything per se. I was just there to like watch. But I was invited to the press area now because I actually registered as a press person. So I was around the press area. So I was watching other people. I watch people like MTV Base. I watch Trace TV. I still have some of their contacts though. So I saw what they were doing and I really liked what they were doing. So right from there, that's when I decided that okay, it seems like this whole media thing was going to be something I would like to go into. So currently, that was in 2016. Currently, this is 2021. 5 years later, um, Pop TV Event Africa now is now more like a Pan-African brand because we have been able to not just take over the university environment. We have also taken over some other places, some other locations outside Enugu, Lagos, Abuja, and then I had a press invite to London for the African Fashion Week. That was in 2018 and then 2019. So we did it for 2 years straight. So we would have done that one for 2020, but because of COVID-19, so that's why we're not, I guess.
COVID-19.
And yeah, right now, Pop TV has 5 subsidiaries. So we have Pop TV Events Africa for the video aspect, the video coverage aspect. Then we have Afro Creative, where we do our documentaries and for the photography aspects. So the photography aspect is more like we document normal societal life and the rest of them. Then I also have an event ticketing aspect where people can actually come to me and then I'll put their tickets out there, sell their tickets online for them just like this normal, ticketing, platforms out there. Then we also have a web design aspect, which is known as the Oracle Web Designs, where we do a lot of websites, web programming and all that stuff. Then we also have the annual Pop Culture Africa Awards, where we award events and event personalities across Africa. So it's been a very long journey, though. It's not been easy. It has never been easy, actually. But then we keep on growing and growing. It's we're just in our fifth year, and at least we have like five other subsidiaries.
Wow.
So I wonder what's gonna happen in the
Wow.
next 10 years, 20 years, and the rest of them. So that's basically much of it, Sha, a summary of like how everything started. But just the vital point I needed to get is that first of all, we started without any camera at all. Like I didn't have a camera.
Hmm.
I know that day I
Hmm.
went to Enugu, I videoed with my phone. I had one phone like that, Samsung then, or the small Galaxy ahead. That was what I was taking videos with, you know. And then I posted it on my page. If you go to PopTV Event Africa, just go down now. I left those page, those photos as archives, so that it reminds me of how I actually started.
Started.
So
Yeah.
so that's basically more like my introduction, though.
Okay, thank you so much. I read your profile, the one you sent, and when I saw it, I was like, "Wow!" I actually want to even meet you in person, like this amazing person. Because one of the things you said in your profile that really got me, you said uh, you were in okay, that the first awards that recognized exceptional events and event personalities in Africa, known as Pop Culture Africa Award, which has awarded over 15 personalities, such as DJ Kube. And I was like, wow, like getting to that stage, I mean, getting to the stage you had now, right now, I know there were
Yeah.
challenges, something that could have said, make you to even want to give up, like on what you are doing right now. So can we have, a kind of a background challenges, like, okay, what, because I know it's not easy to be in this level. I know it's not easy, and even starting sometimes is easy because, but the continuity, like ability to continue what you are doing, the consistency, it's what really matters. So
Yeah.
I can just wake up to say and say, okay, Funke, I want to have a fashion school, even if I don't know anything about it. You get it? So I might just think that okay, I want to get people that knows it, and I want to start it. But if there is no consistency, if there is no the continuity and everything, we will not be that. It will not be able to move higher, and the dreams and everything might just die. So please, just tell us the struggles, those things you faced 5 years ago.
Okay. So first of all, the first struggle comes within yourself. You get,
Okay.
that's like the first struggle within yourself. Okay, you have this dream, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to blow here, you want to go, and then at the end of the day, you see yourself limiting your own self. Like when I first started, trust me, I never planned that I was going to go into full media coverage and all that stuff. I never planned it. What my plan was okay, I'm going to be taking pictures of people at events and then post it on Instagram. I'll be like the whole Insta blog thing, just post what's happening and people just see it and that's it. That's the end of Pop TV. That was what I planned with. That's what
Mhm.
I was limiting myself to also school things like departmental nights, faculty nights, all those kind of a thing. That was what I limited myself to. So it was until I got that opportunity to like go to Enugu. That was when I now felt that, oh, okay, I can actually go outside my comfort zone. You understand? I can actually grow outside that whole school environment thing, that whole departmental thing. You get, so I tried to overcome that, my own personal challenge, because I was really scared of, if I go out there, how will I succeed? Is this how MTV base started? I'm sure they started with a lot of money, to buy their
Mhm.
equipment and
Definitely.
employ staff and all those things. How will I start? I don't even have a camera. How will I was just thinking many, many, many things. Even when I went for the show in Enugu and I saw everything happening, the whole setup, I came back, I was like, guy, this is not for you, this is not for you. Like, money no day. You understand? So it takes a while before you now, start overcoming that personal challenge. It takes a very
Mhm.
long time. some people have not been able to overcome it till now. Some people have been able to do that.
Yeah.
So once you can overcome that personal challenge first, then you will now face other things. Now the other things. Now let's move to the other things. Second challenge I had majorly was financial challenge. As a student,
Mm-hmm.
then how much do I have? Where will I start buying this, buying that? Even at a point, I had some friends. I really appreciate those people. I can never forget them. I had this guy, Apollo Studios. You know, he had a studio in school. He was a photographer. He had a studio in school. But he was somebody that likes video stuff. But he wasn't doing video. He was just, I beg, I just like the thing. I like when people do it. And he just kept his equipment aside. So what I do then is that maybe I'll just go to meet him, and if I have a show, I'll meet him up, and then he will tell me, okay, he will rent this one for 500, he will rent this one for 1,000. Okay, then me, I'll
Mm,
now go and charge my client, pay him the 500 and the 1,000 and the 500 and all that stuff. At the end of the day, if I cover your red carpet events, the only thing I might make is like 1,000 naira, and I'll video all night, and I'll edit, and I'll submit to you. But I will make maybe 500 or 1,000 naira as my gain, because I was renting everything. I was renting the mics, I was renting the. So when you don't have that financial freedom, you understand, it will be a really, really
mm,
big challenge for you. Okay, in
mm,
2017, I did something in Lagos. This kind of thing. I wanted to like expand now. I wanted to like, okay, let people in Lagos know me. So I went for a program at Federal Palace Hotel. You get, and that time I rented a camera
mm,
from somebody in Lagos. So I went there, and I was just looking at everybody, like the kind of equipment. Somebody would just come bring out one big box, and you just see like four cameras, 15 lenses, lights like five, and then you're with your petty camera, still trying to hide your dignity. Let's not be like a safe, that kind of a thing. It was really crazy back then, and you always hope that, when will I have this money? Or sometimes you will not start having thoughts of, are you sure I should even go into this, that it's very expensive to maintain? Because anything media is very expensive. If anybody is going into media, I always advise the person, if you're
mm-hmm.
going to, just be ready to make a lot of expenses. To buy a camera these days, quite expensive. To get microphones, all these other equipments, gadgets that you need to make that video coverage, worthwhile, they're quite expensive. So financial challenge was another thing. Then thirdly, I think another challenge was trying to find an audience. Trying to find an audience. In the media world, you're always known by a certain sphere of people. So if you're not yet on DSTV, for example, or you're not yet on a TV channel that is wide and all that, your reach, your audience might not be really strong. So you might be finding it hard to now create that audience for yourself. Those people that are always, okay, when this guy puts out something, I will watch this thing. Do you understand? So I was in school in Enugu. That's where I started. Then when I graduated from Enugu, I felt like it was a challenge to me, because I graduated 2 years after I started Pop TV. You get, so it was like a big challenge to me, because I was moving now to Lagos, and I was like, now wow, if I leave all my fans and audience in Enugu, it's going to be crazy. I don't know whether this whole Pop TV thing will stand. Even some of my friends that knew me, they felt that, even some of the people I worked with in school, a lot of them left, because they felt I could not sustain it. And it was really challenging. It wasn't their fault, because me from Lagos, trying to push that whole thing and all that in Enugu, it was kind of hard. Then from Lagos, I now did my service in Abuja. Another move again. That kind of thing. So it was kind of really crazy. But those were like the early challenges that we had. Like I said, first one, your personal challenge, the challenge that about your personal, when you tell yourself you can do this, but it seems like you yourself you are not willing to do it, but your mind is telling you can do it. Then financial challenge, then trying to get that audience in place. Those are like the major challenges that affected me back then. Currently, there are a lot more of challenges. There are a lot more of challenges, because now when you have expanded, when people have started recognizing you, like people have started awarding you, okay, for the little things you have done, you will now like to aim higher, so that they now award you not just for the little things you have done, they start awarding you because you're a brand, you're a big company. Because like back then, If they will say, they're giving Pop TV Events award for best startup. You know that yes, it just started like a year ago, so fine, it's a good win. Now, when you can't win best startup forever, now you can't actually keep winning best startup next rated forever. There will be a time they want to classify you among the, you know, if he's a prince billionaire, he will say he's among the upper echelon. You understand? So there will be a time they want to classify you among that this thing. So you always keep working hard to go out of that startup level, out of that new generation level, to the higher level. Do you understand? So that's it. All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. So apart from the challenges, one thing that you need to tell yourself is that first of all, you should, like I used to tell people, before you go into any business at all, before you go into any venture, it might not just be business, any particular career path, any particular vision you're trying to build, you should have what I call a a shock absorber in you, shock absorber, because life in itself is full of challenges. You understand? You might be wealthy, you have the money to buy your equipment, you have the money to do your marketing and all that stuff, and then one sickness will just hits you. You understand? And then you now start wondering, okay, you have everything to, and then sickness and all that stuff. That's one. Another challenge is things are challenges will regularly come. You get? And one thing about growth is that you continuously keep. In short, growth can be simply defined as when you continuously keep, you know, climbing and weighing yourself above challenges. That's growth. Growth is not just a total success story. You win today, you win tomorrow, you win today, you win tomorrow. The process of winning today and winning tomorrow determines how far your growth goes. And that process is filled with challenges. Before somebody wins the Olympic Games, definitely he would have been training for months, training for weeks, having some injuries and setbacks, medical issues, and all that stuff before he will eventually get to win that particular award. But you might just be seeing him on news now. He won last year's Olympics, he won this year's Olympics, it was 10 years ago Olympics. But if you ask him the process behind winning those games, that's when you now know that okay, there are a whole lot of challenges that the media will not tell you, but you yourself, you know in your heart that this is it. So, like I said, you should have a personal shock absorber, a personal shock absorber, so that if anything hits you, be it financial, be it organization wise, you might have a team of persons. Maybe you're like, okay, me and these 5 persons or me and these 10 persons, depending on how you can carry, these people we are the ones that make up Pop TV Events Africa. And then tomorrow, somebody will be like, I don't like the kind of money you're paying me. I want more. And then you have looked at your accounts, you have looked at your pockets, you have looked at everything, and you're like, oh, well, where will I get the more from? It's not like you don't know. Even you that's asking for the more, you know how much you are earning, and then you're asking for more. Where do you want me to get the more from? You will see people like that. You see, even among your workforce, they'll be telling you, CEO, you know they do anything. Maybe because you are the CEO and you're not the one carrying the camera or you're not the one doing this, you start hearing things like that. When you now go to a larger scale, like for example, when I was organizing my first awards in 2018, that was back then in school. You will see different things. People will try to tell you, okay, this is your event. Are you sure people will come around? How do you do your market? You will meet some people that time when you start up. You meeting some people. Please help me
Definitely.
publicize this thing. Share on your WhatsApp. Help me publicize, market this thing. They'll say, okay, okay, no problem, and that's it. That no problem is the end of discussion with you. They will not help you do anything. So if you keep depending on, people's feedback, keep depending on, okay, don't worry, they'll
Mm,
help me. This person will help me. You might eventually get disappointed. So that's where you now need that shock absorber, so that when you see these things happening, you'll be like, okay, fine, I can actually, like, okay, for example, last year when we're planning the Pop Culture Africa Awards, so I sent out some mails, you get, and the person I wanted to actually award Best African Personality of the Year was Busiswa. I don't know if you know Busiswa. She's a South African artist, you
not
get. Yeah,
Okay.
so we have already like discussed. I've sent her mail. She has replied. Her management have replied. They have told me I should send them all the details. All those things. We have chat, talk. And then 1 week to the event itself, and then I'm hearing something like she can't actually come live on the awards. That she has a tour in US. All those things. And me now, I cannot change her schedule, and there's no how I will enforce it on her. It's an award. It's not like I'm paying her to come and perform. You understand? So I can't
Mm-hmm.
enforce it on her. So that was when, and that was why. And second point of me, I don't want to like skip, but the second point now you need to get from this is you have to plan for a second opportunity, like plan B. There should always be a plan B.
Mm-hmm.
Because as at when I was sending the
B.
mail to Busiswa, I was also sending a mail to DJ Copy as at then. So it was more like which one accepts first, and then we'll just do the whole arrangement and all that. And if both of them accept, fine and good, no problems. Because they were both, outlined for the awards that last year. So when Busiswa did the whole thing and I was like, okay, it's not gonna work. So I just fell back to my second option. You get not like a second option. I just fell back to the second person. So she was like the only recipient. Then furthermore, I now added Aisha Yusufu. That's one of the persons, the agitators for NSAS protection and all that stuff. So, like I said, first things first, shock absorbing, you just need to be able to absorb shock. And second one, you need to plan for a second, like in case of anything, the plan B must be in place.
Yeah.
You understand? I've gone to an event with my equipment. I went there, I checked everything at home, the whole batteries, the memory cards, everything was done. Back then when I was still in school, I checked everything. And then I went to the event. Oh yeah, now on camera. I was looking at my
I
camera was
can
looking at me.
imagine.
The camera was looking at me. I was not looking like I was pressing and pressing and pressing. I'm like, what's happening? But I tested everything at home. It was not working. I removed the battery. I put another battery. I said, okay, maybe that one is misbehaving. Put another battery. It wasn't
I can
working.
imagine. Like
You understand?
seriously.
So you can imagine that kind of embarrassment when
Mm-hmm.
and at that time I was in
Yeah.
Owerri then. I came to cover Glow campus first in Owerri. And then P Square was performing. And I was trying to up my camera. And P Square, the main act of the night, was performing. And I could not shoot. After
Shy.
that day, I told myself, if I'm going for anything, even if it's small birthday party, children party, I must go with at least two cameras. At least. That was what I decided as at that time. That was in 2017. I told myself at least two cameras, you know. But now it's not more about cameras now. It's now everything is now done virtually. Now your internet can
Mm-hmm.
mess you up anytime, just like how it happened before we started the show today. All those
Definitely.
kind of things.
Definitely.
You get so if you don't have a second, I've done I went for a burial, like I went to shoot a burial in Abia State last year. You get, and so before I go for that kind of thing, because they told me that they needed to be shown on Zoom because of the family members that are abroad and all that stuff. I said okay, no problem. So because of my past experience, I actually traveled to the village before the burial date so that I'll go and check the network visibility of that area.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So I went to
Yeah.
like three SIM cards: MTN, Airtel, Etisalat. No, MTN, Airtel, and Glow. Yeah. So I went there to check for the visibility. So anyone that works perfectly on 4G, then I'll know that yes, I would use that particular SIM card on that day when I'm running my Zoom. Do you understand? Then I said because I know that all those
Yeah.
independent internet providers, they don't function there like Swift and all those things. They don't function there. So you needed to go with a normal network provider like MTN and the rest. So I had to travel beforehand, did my internet visibility and got what I wanted. It was actually Airtel that worked that day. So that was how I stayed in the village for like 3 days before the main burial, and everything worked out fine. So all these things, like you just have to be calculating. Even as I am here now, as I am here now, if I don't plan myself well, I will still mess up. So it's a continuous process. Even the headies award, if they don't
Definitely.
plan themselves well, it's a continuous mess up. So
Definitely.
that's the fourth point
Yes.
now, planning yourself ahead
Planning.
of time. You get planning
Yeah.
yourself ahead of time,
Okay.
because if you don't plan, nothing. So I think
Okay. Thank you
that's
very
basically it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Shinedu.
Yeah.
Um, the topic for the theme is making a difference, and
Okay.
if we do not have anything we are doing, if we are not committed to something, I'm not sure we can make a difference that we really want in our society. So, I just want you to, talk about the theme, making a difference. How do I make a difference? If Okay, if I really have the passion to make a difference, what do I do? I mean, how do I go about it? We are just hearing, I need to make a difference, I need to make
Okay.
my
So the
community
first,
better, I need to do this. So what do
mm,
I get myself committed to these things? And so please, let's have a question.
okay. So the first thing we need to understand is what does it look like when you make a difference? Making a difference is more like when you're doing something different and ordinary from what has always been in place. You understand? You're doing something different and out of what has already been in place. So as a business person, as an entrepreneur, as somebody that has been driven by a vision and has gotten to a particular place in your life or your career, definitely it's very important that you try to make a difference around your society, around those out around you and all that stuff. So as a media person, the first thing I decided to do was, if I wanted to make a difference around my society, I needed to recognize those that made me go into the industry I was going into. You get, and that was where the idea of starting the Pop Culture Africa Awards
Okay.
began, because I knew I was into the industry of events and events planning and all that stuff. But then nobody was recognizing the fact that these persons were a major players in the entertainment industry. They understand. Entertainment is not just about the musicians, Whiskey, Burna Boy, or the actors or the actresses. You get, there are people that are there that do consistent events that these celebrities come to perform. Because if nobody does this event, these celebrities will only be seen on YouTube and on TV stations, but you would not be able to see them face to face in terms of they came for this event, they came for this party, they came for this show, and all that stuff. So that the first idea that I now decided to do was I needed to recognize these persons. And in recognizing these persons, if you look at the categories of the Pop Culture Africa Awards, there are a lot of events in Nigeria, but I focus more on student-based events, society-based events. I could wake up and say, the best event is Whiskey show in Lagos or Burna Boy show in Congo, or one high-ranking celebrity show out there. But I decided to just give only a particular slot, just one slot, to those major celebrities. While the remaining 20 slots were for student-based, student-oriented events. You understand? That's why you see best on-campus events, best events for social change. You see best off-campus events, all those things. I really needed to focus on those ones so that when they see that they are being recognized while they are young, to give them that push and drive that, okay, once I'm out of this school environment, I can actually make this bigger and I'll be recognized much more bigger. You understand? So it gives them the opportunity that, okay, I was recognized as next rated event this year. So next year I should be aiming for best overall event. I was recognized as best on campus event this year. So next year I should be recognized as best events in Nigeria. Do you understand? So that was the first initiative I did. Then the second initiative I did was, I myself personally, I know that if I was to start more like an NGO, I might not really have the time and I don't really have the technical know-how. You guys, like the knowledge base to like start up an NGO and all that. So at a point I was thinking of, should I meet some people, so that they'll start up an NGO for me, and then I'll see how I can be contributing from there and all that. I tried to do that though, but I could not. So what did I do? Eventually, I now put up a slot. There was a time I put up a slot around early 2019. I put up a slot that, okay, PopTV Events Africa is willing to partner with some NGOs. You understand? So if you're an NGO, you have a vision, you have a drive, something that you're driving at. So you just send us a proposal, and then anyone that we choose, then we'll partner with those ones. So part of the things that you will benefit from
the
also
things that
is
you will benefit
in
from
terms of your
also.
media, let's say for example, you want to shoot a documentary on out of school children, you want to shoot a documentary on drug abuse and all that stuff. You don't need to go out there to start looking for and spending lots of money. You just call us and then we'll come and do it for you. You understand? So it was more like a partnership I did with NGOs back then. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you. I
So
can
it
hear
was
you.
Yeah, so it was more like a partnership I had with NGOs back then, So I was now working indirectly with the NGOs. Some of the NGOs I worked with were Young Ambassadors Against Drug Abuse Initiative. Yeah, so they were into young children that have gone into drug abuse, trying to bring them out and correct them and also put them as part of the normal society. I also partnered with the Educated African Child Initiative, you guess, and the African Child Initiative. Those are two like initiatives that I partnered with back then. So they were more like they're sending back out of school children back to school. They're sending back out of school children to school and all that. So there are a couple of them. There was even one NGO that's centered on boys. I think I've forgotten the name though, but I've lost touch of them for a while now because I left their location, so I've lost touch of them. But they were centered on boys, and how mental. I think they're centered on mental issues surrounding boys and all that. So those were like some of the ways that we try to partner. So like what the point I'm trying to drive here is this: sometimes you as a person might not be able to give directly into the society, making a difference directly. So it doesn't stop you from still making a difference. There are some people that don't have money, but they have skill. You understand? Like me, for example, I have the skill of designing websites. You get? So if an NGO or somebody that I know that is trying to build his own brand comes to me, he can actually come to me and tell me, boss, I would like to do so and so website, but I don't have enough money to do it. You understand? Then I'll look for the best ways and then we'll see how we can get it at the very discounted rates that you'll be comfortable with. Even if it's not me that will do it, I have a group of friends that are into web design. You understand? So depending on location, prices might differ. So I will connect you with those people and then you get your best choice and then you're good to go. You get so everything is not making a difference. It's not just about you spending your money going to orphanages or going to the other. If you have the money, do that. But when you don't have the money, don't sit back there and relax. You get, making a difference is like paying tax. You understand? It's like paying tax.
Okay.
Now,
Okay, Shinedu, I get what you're trying to say. Like you're saying that making a difference does not really mean that I have to, you know, do it directly. I can as well make the difference indirectly. Like, okay, if someone needs help and I maybe like a skill or something and I could do it,
yes,
I'm also making a difference, right? That's what you're trying to say, right? Like,
yeah,
okay, now, okay, helping a neighbor beside me or something is also making a difference. Is that what you're trying to say, please?
helping a neighbor beside you is also making
Hello,
a difference because the person beside
difference.
you, the person
Mm-hmm.
beside you, let's say your neighbor, can be affected by your actions. You understand? Let's
Yeah,
say, for example,
definitely.
you're staying in a bungalow, and then there's another neighbor that stays down that bungalow. You understand? Let's say you now have this. Should I say you have this money, and then you know that two of you used to go and fetch water from the well. You might decide one day that okay, you have the money, so let me just dig a borehole for us, put it
Mm,
in the middle.
definitely.
You understand? Now you have assisted that neighbor as well as every other person that might come around. Mama Nkechi, I want to fetch you, that kind of a thing. They just come outside neighbors, outside the compound. They might want to come around and come and take water and all that stuff. So little things that you can do can actually make a difference. It might be because of that particular tap that you put there. That was why your neighbor decided to start up a business. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he has thought about starting up a business that requires a lot of water, but when he now sees that he has to trek from here to the well, going and coming is like 1 hour. But because of he put just that tap there, it's now give him that idea that okay, now there's a tap here, I can easily start up my business because there's a tap here. If I wake up in the morning, I just do it. Imagine he wants to start a dry cleaning service providing, organization. Because of there's a tap there, it's now easy for him to get access to that water. So it doesn't matter how big or how small you are trying to make a difference. The most important thing is that you are doing something out of the ordinary. You're doing something that affects the other person positively. You're doing something that when the other person benefits from you, it really touches him that, okay, yes, this thing you actually helped me. So that's basically making a difference is not a major big deal. It's something small that may eventually grow into something big tomorrow, but then start from small first. Let people see that little thing you're doing.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's talk about making a difference, relating it with what we do in our communities, and and what we do generally. So, what now you discovered what you want to do? If I ask you what you want to do for the rest of your life, definitely you will say where you are now, you are okay with it, and that's what you want to do. You want to keep improving, you want to be keep, getting better the
Yeah.
rest of your life. So now we have a lot of people out there who they've not discovered themselves. They are yet to discover who they are. They want to. It's not as if they don't want to. They want to. They want to discover themselves. They want to. They love what they see. They want to do it, but there is something in them, that is not really giving them the opportunity to really discover that inner thing, what they really want to do for the rest of their life. So please, can you just come in that aspect? I mean, giving your using yourself as an example now, you started already, you are growing and you keep growing. So for someone who is yet to start, or who is even discover uh his or herself, what would you say to such person? As in, what will you be your advice for the person to discover himself?
Okay.
Do you get my
Okay.
question, please? Did
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
you get what I said?
Yeah, I got you. I got
Hello.
you. Can you hear me now?
So yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. So please kindly.
Okay. So in terms of discovering yourself, I think if I'm to use myself as a lesson, I think the first thing you need to think about is, okay, first of all, you need to draw out an idea. You need to draw out what are those things that you like, whether you like seeing people doing it or you would like to do it, even if you don't have the skill yet. You understand? Even if you don't have the skill yet, you don't have the financial everything yet, what are those things that you would like to do or you like other people doing? Be it a service, be it selling of produce or products and items and all that stuff. So by the time you have listed out those things, you understand? Like I always advise anybody that wants to discover himself or wants to start up something should get a notebook where he puts down these things for himself. You understand? I have a particular book. I've been using it since 2016. Like if you go to that book, you'll see the first name that I proposed rather than PopTV Event Africa. There was a name I proposed then when I wanted to be a news channel. I was like News 24/7. Again. So that was like the first
Yeah.
name I proposed then. So on that book now, you will see those details there. They are there till now. So you first of all think about those things you like other people that you like to see the other people are doing. Think about those things that you would like to do, even if you don't have the skill. And when you list all of them, like list as many as possible. When you're now done listing all of them, the next thing you need to do is you now strike out those ones that are okay in order of importance. You understand? And then you look at all those things you want to do and see the one that you are much more happier doing. So I used to grade it by 3. You understand? So the one that I'm very much happier talking about or doing, I give it 3. The ones that I'm a little bit happy about it, I give it 2. Then the ones that okay, it's just normal, everybody's doing it, I want to just do 2, I give it 1. So from there, I will now strike out all the ones and the twos and leave just the threes. Then when I get the threes, then from there, I would not lie to you. You are not a magician that will now select, okay, out of all these ones, this is the particular one that will work best for you. Sometimes you need more like a trial and error situation where you do this one, see how it works for you. If you do this one from now to so and so time, if it works perfectly well, you continue with it. If you do another one, if that one does not work, you go into another one. If it works perfectly well, you continue with it. If that one does not work, you keep on trying. You understand? Some of the big names you hear now, if they tell you what they started with, you understand? They tell you that, okay, this is, some people will tell you that right now they are making a lot of money from importation. But if they tell you that they started from salon, or they started from barbing, or they started from even doing cameraman, you understand? You'll be like, how did you move from cameraman to this one? You understand? When I started my web development, listen, when I started PopTV, I did not know anything about websites. I did not know nothing about, I didn't even know anything about social media. Like, I was not a social media person. So I did not know anything about websites. I didn't know anything about social media and all that stuff. But along the line, you understand, you keep on learning things, you keep on developing. Now somebody will be like, how far? How come you
Definitely.
move from cameraman, you can't enter web design? How come you from person with the whole camera now? You're now designing codes for websites, programming, PHP, and like even me, I'll be like me, I don't know, na God do, na God do. You understand? So, but that's just it. Sometimes you just have to keep on trying new things each time until you get to that particular spot where you know that, okay, fine, this is the best. Then another thing is that you need to understand that when you're discovering yourself, sometimes your passion might not be your source of income. Do you understand? Sometimes your passion might not be your source of incomes. Some people
Yeah.
dwell a lot in my passion. My passion is to be making agbada. That's my passion. I like native things. That's my passion. Yes, so if your passion works for you and becomes your source of income, fine. But sometimes you need another source of income to actually fuel your passion to get you to where you want to get to. Do you understand? Like when I wanted to start Pop
Yeah.
TV,
Yeah.
when I wanted to start my media coverage service, I was trying my best to see how I can raise funds for it, but it wasn't working. So what did I do? I started doing assignments, I started doing projects and documents for my classmates. Some of my classmates that might watch this later, they will understand that yes, Chines was actually doing, projects and seminars for people in class and all that stuff. So from the money I collect from them, I will now use it and fund my passion. Do you understand? Any money I collect from there, I use them for my passion. I even went into events planning. I went into marketing. I went into a lot of things. So any money I collect from there, I will just carry it and then throw into my passion. And that was how I started growing my passion. So right now, some of those extra skills are now learned, like web design, graphics design, photography. They are now part
Generate
of the business
incomes.
now. So I've now turned all of them now into sources of incomes. You understand? So everything is just a gradual
Yeah.
stage. You should not even rush yourself when you're trying to discover yourself. You should not rush yourself. I used to grab consolation every time when I hear of stories of what's his name? This guy that started Kentucky Fried Chicken. You understand? His first hit was at the age of 65 years. Like
Mm-hmm.
65 years. Now you see young people nowadays, if you are you sure if you go on Twitter now, you'll be seeing things like if you are 25 and you never buy car, you never make car for this life. All this kind of talk. If you are 23, you never move from a papa house. Yeah, you are a broke boy. Blah blah blah. If you start following all those Twitter things and social media angles, you go tire. When is your time is your time. Some
Mm-hmm.
people will blow at the age of 7, some will blow at the age of 30, some will blow at the age of 40, 50, 60. The most important thing is your time is your time. Do you understand? Your time is your time. So you just keep working with your own time.
Definitely.
You'll get. So even
Yeah.
me, when
But
I
I,
was
I
when I
think
was
that
around, I'm listening.
I think that the focus for the young now, for us, because I'm also a young person, the focus should not be, um, blowing or getting, getting to be noticed. The focus should be that you just want to make the impact. So if our focus is I want to make the impact, no matter the result and I'm getting. I just want to make the impact. I think we will not really be discouraged with maybe you are being celebrated, you are being noticed or something. So I think that the focus should not be the fact that you want people to celebrate you for what you are doing. Because if your
Yes,
focus
that's
is
it.
that, if your focus is that, you in fact you will not even be disappointed. You will just be cool. If you get celebrated, fine. And if not, since your focus is just you just want to make impact and just be cool. Once you make the impact and you're just happy with it. So I think the focus should not be the fact that you want to be noticed. So
Yes. Have you observed, most of the most popular musicians in Nigeria, those ones that are being recognized out there, those ones that are very famous, what those people recognizing them will tell you, like for example, those that are recognizing Burna Boy, Grammy Awards and all those international awards and all that, what they will tell you is that they are recognizing Burna Boy because of his music tends to impact society. Or Fela, they will tell you Fela's music is touching the lives of society. You understand? Nobody will tell you something like, because of Fela wants to make money, that's why we're recognizing him. Or Fela is the richest musician in Nigeria. Someone like Femi Kuti, for example, is recognized worldwide. He's not the richest musician in Nigeria. Or someone like Angelique Kidjo, she's recognized worldwide. She is not the most richest artist in the world. She's not the richest person in Africa. She's not even the richest person in our country. You understand? But she's recognized worldwide. So if whatever you're doing is not able to impact on people, you will definitely not get that fame you're talking about. You might get all the money in the world, but then what's the if you get all the money in the world and then people still see you as nobody, even you'll be laughing at yourself. Why do I have this money and then I have not touched anybody? Why do I have this money and my neighbors are still calling me stingy? Or why do I have this money and my country people are like, okay, you have the money and so what? And so what? Did you build anything here? Is there any school you put here? Did you put any all those kind of things. So if your work, if your skill, if your talent does not impact on people, if you're looking at just making money and making money and making money, some people have succeeded in just making money. Some will never succeed because their eye is just in money. But then whatever you're doing, you should be sure that you're impacting on other people. You should be sure that you carry every other person along. You understand? Don't carry them along because you expect something in return. Because I know some people will tell you, make I help my brother or make I help this person so that tomorrow he go help me when I don't go down. All those kind of. Oh, but let me give you now that Nigeria will surprise you. That person you help will shock you. So don't even bother. Don't even think about it. You should be helping somebody or people because you have decided you need to help them. You should not be helping them because you are expecting something in return from them. Don't
in
worry. So that
return, yeah.
in case I'm broke, if I'm broke, they will come and help me. They will now do GoFundMe and donate to my cause. They will shock you. They will shock you. You will be surprised. So you just do it because you have decided you want to do it. Do it because you know that this thing you are doing is going to touch a lot of people, and you don't even need to buy the fame. Fame will just come your way. Someone like Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Nelson Mandela is not the richest person, but if Nelson Mandela says he wants to travel to this country, the country is likely to even sponsor Nelson Mandela to come to their country. Why?
Definitely.
Because of the kind of person that he is. They want a situation whereby
Yeah.
when it comes to their country, people are like, Nelson Mandela is in our country. That's all. Oh. Some people, like I remember there was a time he visited there's a store where they sell clothes in London. He was in London for his, I think his 90th birthday or was that people celebrated him, sha. So he went to a store. He just came inside though. I don't know whether he wanted to buy clothes or not, but from the video, he came inside with an entourage and the store was open and people were coming in. Police now came, they started pursuing people out there. Do you know that after he left that store, the store now put an official poster that says Nelson Mandela also visits here.
Abina.
You understand? They put it there, and that one alone made people to come inside. Like people wanted to buy in that same store that Nelson Mandela bought. They even put a stamp on the floor where he stepped on to take pictures with people. So anybody that come there, he's not there, but you
You
stand on that
see.
stamp. You will pay.
Mm-hmm.
You will pay to stand there. You understand that kind of a thing? It's just like, for
Yeah.
example, when Pope John Paul came to Nigeria, like the Catholic Pope came to Nigeria. So people, the place that he stood, the papal ground he stood, they actually, put CCTV cameras and all that stuff there. It's not like as if, he doesn't have all the money, but then the fame is there. So you will not even call fame once you are impacting on other people. So that's just basically it.
To come all together. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, I can see it's dark at the end already.
Sorry? Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know if we have any question. If we have any
Yeah.
question, please, if you have any question for our guests tonight, please kindly put it at the comment section. If you have any question, kindly put it at the comment section. Thank you very much. Just in case you're watching for the first time, this is Momentum powered by Upstream to Africa. It's a non-governmental organization. Solution to the four sustainable development goals. We thank you. We want you for please kindly put your question. Kindly put your question. Kindly put your question. We want to have your feedback. We want to have your feedback. Kindly put your question in. Okay, so I quickly want to add to this point of discovering yourself. I want to add to the point. And number one thing I would say is in discovering yourself, the first thing is that uh, you go to your maker if you want to really discover who you are. Now, let me cite an example. If you buy a fan or anything, any gadget, anything you buy, you will discover that uh, there is always a manual inside it, and it contains everything that is needed. Maybe you are just buying, you just want to use it for the first time and you don't know how to use it. So everything that you need is already inside the manual. So now God created every one of us beautifully and wonderfully. Like He created you and I, having us in mind, and He already put a manual in us. Like there is something in us that is big, there is something in us that is special, there is something in us that if you and I can activate it, the world will be a better place to be. So the first thing that I tell people is that you need to go back to God who created you. What am I here for? There is a purpose for every one of us. There is a reason why you are here. There is a reason why I am here. So it is always good to first go back to the maker and say, okay, God, what the manual that you've put inside of me, what you've put deposited in me, what is that thing? I just want to know. I want to know. And trust me, God is a faithful God and He will definitely answer you. So the next thing I say is sometimes, most times now, God will not come from heaven and say, "Oh, Funke, this is what I want you to do." Like He will not come down from heaven and say it. Sometimes He uses human being, and that is why getting a feedback from people around you is very, very important. Getting a feedback is very, very. I think one of the speakers said it. Is it? I think yesterday or today said that you have to listen to people. You have to go back to people and ask them, either your mom, either your father, ask them what you like to do. Just ask them about you, what you like to do. Ask people around you, people that knows you very well. Just, okay, how do I do? What do you think I'm good at? Sometimes we don't see it. Sometimes you even think that you are not good at something. Why people say Why people sit at the back and say, wow, this girl, she's very good. This boy, I mean, this guy is very good at it. So please listen to feedback. Why praying? Do not, expect God to come down and say, oh, Toby, this is what you do. Williams, this is what I created it for. This is what you are going to do for the rest of your life. No. So you have to listen to feedback. You have to, get people to tell you things. And another thing is volunteer. Yes, I tell people around me, you have to volunteer for. If you go for, I mean, if you volunteer for things, for a cause, you will discover what is really inside of you. You will discover what you can do, your capacity. You will be able to know that, okay, I can sing well, I think I'm good, I can dance well, I think I'm good in this area. So you will be able to really know those things. So you have to volunteer for different causes. Volunteer for different causes. It helps you, it builds you, and it develops you. It develops you, it builds you, and there is other benefits when you volunteer for people, when you volunteer your time, your money, when you volunteer your skills. Yes, and I think that's one of the things Shinedu said, that you have to sometimes making the impact is making the difference, or making the impact now is not about going to a community and just building a school, or just doing something for them. It's not really about that. There's something, I mean, there is somebody beside you who needs help. There is somebody beside you who needs something. There is somebody beside you who you can even start with. So making the difference now is not really about the big thing. It's not really about the big thing. You can, volunteer your skill. With your skill, what you can do, you can just, we have a lot of organizations looking for people to work for them, a lot of NGOs out there looking for young people that are skills, that have skills, one thing or the other, and they can, them to execute one assignment or the other. So you can volunteer. If you send a message or an email to any organization and tell them, okay, I love what you do and I have these social skills, I would love to, volunteer this skill. They will not say, sorry, we can't have you. No, they won't say that. So it's always good to volunteer. When you volunteer, it helps you to discover yourself. It helps you to build, the capacity needed even when you want to start your own. So volunteer wherever you are. Volunteer in church. It could be in church. Yes, it could be in church, in a department or something. So please volunteer. I'm still waiting for questions. If you have questions, we are still here. Our speaker is still here. If you have any question that you want to ask about what we are talking about, this is Momentum powered by Upstream to Africa. So if you have any question for tonight, kindly let's have you if you have any question. And if you do not have question, okay, Shinedu, please. Hello, are you still there?
And here,
Okay. I want you to please kindly advise everyone listening, the participants. I want you to give us an advice uh, about making a difference. When we start, what we want. I mean, that passion. When we start, just give us a concluding advice.
okay, right?
Yeah, I'm listening, please.
Okay. You raised the particular point, the God factor is very important, because sometimes it's everything is done by their hands can do, their they have so much things, they have, so if you forget the factor, then it's wrong. You might have a lot of knowledge, you might have a lot of everything. There's no grace that guides you, and then you'll be. Remember, I told you my for a day after school. You get. I had the skill, I had the plan, I had everything. Meant God did not place me in where I saw that my friend they are doing a show in how far you go like go. Me that was the I don't even know they were doing a show in Enugu. I just came, I was just walking down by he just told me how far is Enugu and that was so I knew that that was coincidence to place me at that part at that part so that I'll see that my friend and I'll see. And that's not about that whereby I finished full wedding video, like a video, everything from the traditional bridal shower, everything. I put the memory card into my and it was not showing. That
Mm.
someone's full no longer showing. I had the cameras, I did everything, but what card just went blank on that memory card. There's no way I did not go to be a meet technician. This I left from Enugu, I went to Imo State. Or some of my friends that were into all those things, they could left there. I went to Lagos, I went to Ikeja, that they do memory card and all that stuff. I did everything and nobody could get. But what happened? That particular beg, this guy has been disturbing me. Let me be sure that I'm so. So I went back to school. I just carried the memory card, went back. One of my roommates, like half an hour, he get way I won't collect from my friend. My flash. Do you have flash? I say yeah. Not that one. Oh, I gave him another. Said it when he came back. Asking what's the application is to the files that have been deleted or formatted. And that was how I got back my files. That was how I file everything that was missing. All those things I know they are not by thing is all God doing His work. It's very
Mhm.
important. In fact, that's like the to anybody now. Apart from you aspect of you where you put your total, that's definitely God will see you through this thing. Give you the grace to
Mhm.
actually do all this. To be a pastor before you know supreme. You don't need to be a church goer before you know that God that helps and everything that you do. So those that are already going to church, everything I do, no matter how timely or short, I always try to involve God in every so that I know that if my strength is good, God will now complete it to that is needed. You get. I think that's like the major thing that every new any career person needs to understand. Even the richest men in the world, they will tell you how far communicate with God, and that was what has led this. You understand? It's about
Mhm.
Warren Buffett, this Bill is about yeah, there are a lot of them. Either then you will see that there is always them and their God some way. So you can also learn from that as a person, as an individual.
Thank you very much, Shinedu. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
If you're
very much.
just joining, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. So, if you are just joining, my name is Olufika Folorun Show, and this is Momentum, powered by Upspring to Africa. Upspring to Africa, it's a non-governmental organization established in 2013 2015, and our focus is providing solutions to the four sustainable development goals. And we have 5 strategies of achieving these goals. One of the strategies is momentum, which is happening today, momentum, and we continue tomorrow. We started on Thursday and we continue tomorrow. So another one is scholarship. We give indigent students scholarship. We look for people, who really need this help. We look for people, the less privileges mainly. We give scholarship to them. That is what we do when it comes to scholarship. Then another one of our strategy is not too young to dream. Not too young to dream. It's in school campaign. We go to different schools, telling them about the importance of education, telling them not to give up on their dreams, and whatever we have during that time, we try to give it to them. And also, we try to locate or identify any student who needs help. One of the things we discover is that despite the fact that education in some states in Nigeria, they are free, some cannot even afford to pay for their wide field. So we come in that way. We try to, look for anyone who can pay for their wide field, and we try to up in that area. So when we go to school, when we do a not too young to dream, when we go to schools for this campaign, that is one of the things we do. We identify those students who really need help, and we try to come in that area. Then another one is reach out. Wow, reach out, it's always massive, and it's always every 26th December. And one of the things is I can't wait to, we can't wait to start, sharing a link for volunteers to join us for this year reach out, which is coming December 26th. Reach out December. It's always every year. It's always December 26th, and we always look for get volunteers to get involved with us. So very soon we are going to be sharing a link, and we are going to be requesting for volunteers for this purpose. And it's always massive. It's always massive. We look and locate a community who needs helps, and we go there with whatever we have. We go there with clothes, we go there with food, we go there with whatever, and our medical teams, they are top notch. So we go there with the team, and it's always wonderful. So December 26th every year, that is what we do when it comes to reach out. Then the last innovations, which is also a strategy, is the last one is life transforming projects. Life transforming projects is, we try to, when we go to communities, we try to see what we can do in that community. Sometimes it's always water problem, is always, problems differ from communities. There's the problem here might not be the problem there. So we try to, through our research team, we try to identify a location and identify their problems, what they really want, then thereafter try to provide solution to that. So that is our 5 strategy, our 5 innovations at the NGO. And we have board of directors, we have people who are passionate, we have people who are passionate about this NGO as team members. So thank you so much for staying this long. Thank you so much, really appreciate you. If you are still thinking, finally let me leave this with us before we go for tonight. Tomorrow is 10. We are going to be meeting 10 a.m. tomorrow. But before I go today, let me leave this with us. If you are still thinking of starting, or you've started and you stop at a point, I think this is the time to just take the book back and try to check the book again. And that is why it's very important to write those things down, what you want to achieve, your passions, everything. It's always good to write them down. So your ideas is always good to write them down. So if you've started before and you have to stop due to finance, you have to stop due to the fact that people are saying something about you, please get back to work. Yes, it's time to just get yourself back. I tell people around me that don't be discouraged with when it comes to finance, don't be discouraged. And that is why it's very important to have something. Most of our speakers, they've said it, that sometimes your passion will not pay you. This is an NGO, this is what we do, this is what we are passionate about, this is our calling, this is what we love to do. But it's not giving us money. We are using our money, we are using our resources, we are still doing it ourselves. But we have to get work, we have to get something, even if it's a skill, something that will bring money in. Then we now put it into our passion. So it's always good to have something that you can always put back. So please do not give up because of finance. Get back to work. It's time to get back to work. We are expecting that even after this program, that we will have a lot of testimonies, that you begin back those things that you've stopped, or you now start something, an idea, something that has dropped in your mind. And another point I want you to know is that sometimes the dreams, it comes like a dot. It will not really expand, like it will not be big. It comes very little. But it is when you start, it is when you begin, that it begins to expand, it begins to become very wide, and it begins to be like, wow, this is big. So begin. I tell people, begin anyhow, anywhere. Just begin. Sometimes we wait, oh God, when when do you want me to start? When do you want me to start? When do you want me to do this? It's good to get directions from God. Yes, definitely. I love it. I'm a very passionate Christian, you know. But sometimes God is already telling you, please go ahead. Go ahead. And you are only limited by probably the fear of what people will say, or the fear of finance, of the fear of location, a lot of things. The fear of the how to start. Some of us, we want to start big. We want to start very big. So just start anyhow. Just start with the little that is in your hands. Okay, let me quickly tell us a short story about the NGO before we finally leave this tonight. NGO started in 2013, and we didn't start on this platform, this big platform. In fact, we started on a very, very, very low platform. And it was like, we were printing a leaflet. I believe some people will be laughing right now, like those people that really know about it. And it was called Royal Head then. So we were printing a leaflet, and we're going to different schools, giving it to people. And I remember then we would just I'll go to a school back then, is when I was in school, and I would be like, please come and give us news now, please come and give us something now, a write-up. It was like we were just writing to motivate people, to give up to people, and we were giving it for free. We were using our money, we were just giving it for free. That was how we started. But there was a vision in mind, and the vision was a big NGO. But we do not have the resources, we do not have the money to start on that big platform. But we just have to start. And I tell people, if we have not started that as at that time, probably we won't be doing anything right now, because work is there to face, a lot of things is there to face. But because we have started, we don't want it to die. We just have to keep doing what we love to. We just have to keep doing it. So please, and please, start with what you have. Start anyhow. Just start it, and start it right now. Because the right time, if you say, I will start, the right time is coming. When is the right time? That is what I tell people. When is the right time that you think that is the right time? So it is better to start now. Start now. Even if probably you are 60 and you still have the passion, the thing in your heart, the heaviness in your heart, please start it. It's always good to start with what you have. And the consistency, please, is very, very important. So start with what you have, start where you are, and please keep the consistency. We are here today as an NGO, not because there was a big money somewhere or something. It was just the passion, and we kept going. We started with just printing of a leaflet, going to schools, giving it for free. We were just giving everybody for free. I remember I would collect different articles, different write-up from different people, and we just put and we'll give it to people without collecting anything. And despite the fact that we give it for free, some people will still kind of frustrate your effort. Some people will be like, what are you doing? But the passion. So that is where it is. When people tell you, oh, what are you doing? So don't be discouraged with those things. Don't be discouraged with finance. Don't be discouraged with what people say. Don't be discouraged with whatever you are going through. I want you to believe in yourself that you can. And I want you to know that you should start right away. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We appreciate you for staying to this time. We appreciate you for watching. We appreciate you for listening. Please, um, everything that you must have learned, please put it into action. I tell people that it is not enough to keep talking, to keep talking, to keep talking, to keep talking. It's always good to act. It's always good to act. So please put it into action. We love you. See you tomorrow, 10 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you so much. We'll be having another guest here tomorrow. So please do not miss it. We love tomorrow is Saturday. Yeah, tomorrow is Saturday. So please come. We want everyone. Tell people about Upstream to Africa. And please, if you want to probably partner with us or sponsor any of our programs, any of the 5 strategies, please, we are available. Our phone number is 090-2016-7010, 090-2016-7010. And our email address is upstreamtoafrica@gmail.com, upstreamtoafrica@gmail.com, upstreamtoafrica@gmail.com. All her social media platform is Upstream to Africa. So, and this program is also here live on YouTube. So you can check your YouTube channel at Upstream to Africa. You can check. We are also on the platform. Check your LinkedIn. We are Upstream to Africa on LinkedIn, on Instagram. We are Upstream to Africa on Facebook. We are Upstream to Africa. And you can also check Upstream on Facebook. Thank you so much. We love you and we appreciate you so much. We love you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Today, our streets and communities are littered with the young and old who suffer. Today, our streets Today, our streets and communities are littered with the young and old who suffer the indignity of begging for crust of bread to stay alive. It is no more news that there is an epidemic phenomenon of street children who are brought up on the free-range system, child prostitution, rejected children, and mass destitution of the young are the order of the day. Often, they have no idea of what they are gifted to do on this earth. The politicians have found them to be available for thuggery, vandalization, political uproar, and other antisocial activities due to their ignorance and hopelessness, poverty, and inability to access quality education. It is incumbent on society to form people through the provision of integral programs and policies that will facilitate moral and social development. Hope Spring to Africa is tackling these problems by providing the right information and motivational programs to imbibe the right attitude and fill every vacuum through our various strategies. Hope Spring to Africa. Today, our streets and communities are littered with the young and old who suffer the indignity of begging for crust of bread to stay alive. It is no more news that there is an epidemic phenomenon of street children who are brought up on the free-range system, child prostitution, rejected children, and mass destitution of the young are the order of the day. Often, they have no idea of what they are gifted to do on this earth. The politicians have found them to be available for thuggery, vandalization, political uproar, and other antisocial activities due to their ignorance and hopelessness, poverty, and inability to access quality education. It is incumbent on society to form people through the provision of integral programs and policies that will facilitate moral and social development. Hope Spring to Africa is tackling these problems by providing the right information and motivational programs to imbibe the right attitude and fill every vacuum through our various strategies. Hope Spring to Africa is a non-governmental organization founded on February 2nd, 2013, registered under the Corporate Affairs Commission to provide solutions to the first four Sustainable Development Goals, which are eradication of poverty, zero hunger, provision of good health and well-being, provision of quality education. Hope Spring to Africa, through our innovations, has visited more than 50 schools, gave scholarships to indigent students, and empowered more than 2,000 students in different communities in Nigeria. Our innovation strategies are scholarship, reach out, momentum, not too young to dream, life-transforming projects such as building of schools, libraries, toilets, etc. for underdeveloped communities and schools. Our vision is restoring hope to all. Mission to provide solutions to the first four Sustainable Development Goals. For support or information, you can reach out to us on hopespringtoafrica@gmail.com, or you can call 090-2016-7010. You can reach out to us on our Instagram handle, Hope Spring to Africa, our Facebook handle, Hope Spring to Africa,